Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You all, I hope you are enjoying the holidays. I promised 11-year-old Arjun in Houston. Hello, Arjun. How are you? Today, he called me, hello, Tataya, this afternoon. I know the Telugu. I know a few words in Telugu, Bhavanara and Tataya, two words. He said, I told him I'm not Tataya because very often I do the activities of a 39-year-old man. Instantly he said, hello, mama. We need such intelligent boys with IQ of that 11-year-old 127. Hello, mama, he said. What a bright young kid, Arjun, you are. I congratulated him. And there are lots of things, and he's watching the satsang also. There are several other things I'm going to talk about this thing. But then the current topic in the United States, I'll be losing a lot if I don't mention. You're seeing in the news, there are drones, drones after drones in New Jersey. On the shores of New Jersey, where I lived in Eatontown and Shrewsbury, one pretty close to the ocean, very close to Long Island, New York. Now, a devotee's friend was walking the beaches in New Jersey. It is not New Jersey, okay? You have to say, if you live here for 10 years, you will call it New Jersey, okay? How you doing? How you are doing in New Jersey should be how you are doing. Yeah, how you're doing. That how you should have a slant and ending up with doing, okay? That's all in New Jersey. A devotee's friend was walking the beaches in New Jersey the other day. This is real. Suddenly, you know what? A drone lands in front of him speaking. Of course, it is artificial intelligence. It speaks better than a human being. It says, give me your wallet. Give me your watch. Very beautiful New Jersey English. Give me your watch. Give me all that. Give me your belt. Give me your wallet. Give me all the credit cards that you have. And then if you refuse, he sees a gun on the drone. It'll fire in 10 minutes. You give me. So he's suddenly giving. He knows enough about drones. It's a big drone, okay? So he says it's ready to, is revving up to go. So he knows he cannot cling to that, it'll shoot. So he takes all the things, he's completely stolen. He can't even call the 911 because the drone says there is no 911. I switched off all the 911 in the state. Hey, that is artificial intelligence in action. And then he got completely stolen. Finally, while going, it gives a kick to that fellow. He falls down on the beach and it flies away. All right. There are a lot of drone jokes, but enough. One is enough. There are a lot of British humor. I'll come to that half an hour later. I said, what did I tell you this particular satsang? Forgive me, lead me, okay, unto resurrection and guide me, guard me, and always protect me. I said that, right? Am I right? And shower your blessings on me. Your prayers to Shirdi Baba. I'm going to talk a little bit with reference to 2-3 devotees. That's all the time I have. What do you pray for? Some people pray in their puja rooms. Can you hear me? Some people pray when they are showering. Some people when they are driving. Be careful, okay? The red lights and the green lights and the orange lights in between. Be careful because they pray. When you pray, your brain, if you are a highly conscious person, your brain has got higher consciousness. Where there is Shirdi Baba, you will drive. For instance, when I am driving, my brain is driving, my consciousness is driving. I can talk with you on the phone. I cannot text. I can talk with you. I can talk with my daughter if she is in the rear seat. Am I right? When my wife is sitting in the front seat, I cannot talk. Tum chup karke drive karo pehle. That's what she says. Okay? And because even the third lane, some car will be going, she'll be saying, watch out that car. Yeah. She reminds me of the British comedy Hyacinth, right? Yeah. Richard, the husband. Poor guy. But I'm not that poor guy. I know. And she knows that my brain drives very well. And am I right? This exclusive devotee, I got to turn right and then see whether she's laughing or not. That's all right. You pray for your welfare. You pray for your second job, efficiency. You pray for your salary hike. You pray for your mother's health. You pray for your brother's good condition. You pray for your flat in Bangalore. Oh, it should be remaining okay. Nobody should steal the flat because they steal lands in Andhra Pradesh everywhere. You pray different things you pray for. Even some people, some good people even pray for uncle should have good health. Yeah. People pray for, I know those people, I see when they pray, I can see. So these are all the prayers you do. So I said, prayer is the food and nourishment for the soul. That one statement, my email begins with the food and nourishment for the soul. Temple Shiva, please come in. Shiva and his wife, Srimati Nirupama, they pray every day. They have a huge picture. If you have higher consciousness, you don't need any picture. In other words, some people have developed a nirguna bhakti, not saguna bhakti. Nirguna bhakti, you can just pray. Sitting here, you can listen to me and pray. That's possible. You are afraid of your friends. You pray, oh, these people should not come to my home. These people should not walk my street. All these things you pray. Sometimes in the satsang, some people, oh, Mama, take care that they shouldn't ask this particular question. No, it will never happen. If you really pray, this will never happen because you look no different. People know you. So the prayer takes ordinary rupa, cosmic rupa, and so many rupas. How does it mean to every individual? It means a lot. Last satsang, there were several requests, at least about 25 requests. Mama, will you continue the Narahari story? They all said, the local people, Houstonians and Washington DC and West Coast, one PhD. Mama, when will you continue with the Narahari story? Narahari Vasudev Raikar, his full name. I said, I have come very briefly. I come to the end of Narahari story, and he was passing away in the coastal hospital. Like Baba said, treated by a doctor who was not even born at that time. 20 years, remember the story? 20 years later, the doctor will be born. The shoe, the imprint of my foot and my hands, you will give to that fellow, and you will ask him to make it to this. I didn't tell last time. 2 padukas, one wooden, one in stone. The stone one is meant for abhishekam. The wooden one will be meant in your home. They can just pray on it any time, even with Nirguna style. So this was given to, what is the doctor's MBBS name? Anybody? Dr. Javeri, right? Dr. Sashikant G. Javeri. I will call him Javeri. Dr. Javeri was wondering, what should I do with that? He was always thinking, what kind of a dakshina I'll give to this, To this Sadguru. How can I meet this Sadguru? And he was living a very peaceful life, and so far, he was wondering, I told you about dakshina. He decided the best dakshina would be to pray, give the mantra. I have not given you the mantra. I will give you the mantra in the satsang, which is going to be millions of people can pray. How easy Baba made it. Baba has never made anything easier than this. The mantra can be said just one before you get to bed once. It takes probably 4 to 5 seconds. Only once a day, which Dr. Javeri did for 36 years, meaning as long as he lived after receiving. I'm going to deal with that, all right? When I deal with that, you will be enamored of Dr. Javeri. You will be enamored of the other person, non-Dr. Narahari. Narahari was the fellow who got the padukas with the black clothes. Remember? 1 month ago I told you, but you should remember. This is a very important thing because so many raving reviews came to me about Narahari. I have several other things, but I am jumping to Dr. Javeri, who received that cloth with the imprint and also the mantra. This mantra, you are all agog to hear, listen to this mantra. Those who have read a particular book will know that, but then that also would have slipped your beautiful memory, your everlasting memory. Because no one thinks of Shirdi Baba and my lectures forever. Those who have reached higher levels of C factor will be thinking of my lectures forever until you reach this evening. Because without thinking about your 2 IT jobs or 3 IT jobs, you can do all the jobs. If you have reached that level, you can think of who is this Narahari, who is this Dr. Javeri, right? You will all be thinking. So, doctor, for the next 30 years, he did research. He said helping people. He's an MBBS, right? Not MD, MBBS, just very efficient doctor though. He said for the next 30 years, he did enormous research in Ayurveda, in homeopathy and allopathy. MBBS medical schools don't teach Ayurveda and homeopathy. Not yet. In the next 10 years in the USA, it's going to be a compulsory course, homeopathy, in the next 10 years. Nobody agrees with me, but I know it is going to be taught in medical schools. Dr. Javeri thinks, okay, it has not happened so far. Let me spread. So he did 30 years research and then cured so many patients who were suffering from asthma. He found so many people are struggling to. So many people are struggling with asthma. So he cured 7,000 patients. All the 7,000 patients were living so beautifully well. They were breathing in and out. They were not even using breasttree. You all watch TV, right? Breasttree. Every 30 minutes, 30 seconds, there will be a breasttree advertisement. They will show you the inhaler. Have you watched, Shrikant? No? Breasttree is for asthma, but particularly. And he had Shirdi Baba's blessings, and therefore he found out a drug. And then the drug's name is not there. I'm researching for a drug's name. Baba will tell me. 7,000 patients were cured, meaning all the 7,000 people are blessing Dr. Javeri, Sashikant Ji Javeri. So 7,000 people, even if 7 people bless you, you lead a wonderful life. So the doctor lived for 36 years so wonderfully well, so wonderfully well. And he attended to patients who lived in Pune, because he lived in Pune. And Baba blessed him abundantly. He had everything. He led a very peaceful, contented life. He had all the wealth. He's a doctor, right? Doctors usually enjoy a greater life, more qualitative life than everybody so far. Of course, this equation is going to change. The IT people will become equivalent to doctors in another 5 years. With the advent of AI, the IT people will make exactly the same money as doctors, and therefore, unless doctors know AI, they will fall behind IT people. I am sure this is going to happen. That is why the doctors are a little bit afraid. They don't watch news about AI. The IT people watch with great attention, because this is AI. The drone I told you, that was controlled by artificial intelligence from probably some other country, or who knows, it could be a homegrown, right, student, maybe from a very big university, like, I don't want to name any big universities. Dr. Javeri is lived a very peaceful and contented life. He feels that the God, whatever may be the name, is the supreme energy, and he is working through his drug. That supreme energy you get. And he was dutifully waking up at 1 a.m. every day. The alarm will go off at 1 a.m. He goes to bed by 11:30, 12, and 1 o'clock he wakes up just to repeat that mantra for a few seconds. I told you, right? It may take 2 to 3 seconds. He just finishes. You can say only once. Because Baba told Narahari when he was living and Baba was living, this was in 1916 or 17, tell Dr. Javeri was not even born. 20 years later he was born. Tell him he should repeat it, say that only once every day. So he did that at 1 a.m. and then found it difficult. He was about to say a second time, no. Baba has instructed only once, I should say. Therefore, he said only once. I'm going to come to the actual, this thing, you're all agog. I'm going to tell you a little later. So, every devotee thought, generally he thought, Dr. Javeri thought, everybody should have Shraddha and Saburi. When you have Shraddha and Saburi, you will lead a contented life. In contented life, you will be able to understand this mantra. Some of you will question Uncle and Baba too. Baba never gave mantra to that lady in Sacharita, right? Baba gave mantra only once in his lifetime. That was to Narahari. Because Narahari He was very, very fond of, he gets very fond of some devotees. It's very true, very, very true. Currently, he is very fond of a few devotees in every city. I know all of them by name. I don't tell them. If I tell them, they will start doing the satsang instead of me. Right? That is one risk I'm running. I don't want to run any risk because I have seen Shirdi Baba so many times in life. I have spoken with him there. I am doing this, any of you can do that. And therefore, Dr. Javeri says, Baba could foresee what awaited mankind in the future, including artificial intelligence. I'll tell you how he predicted. And that was the concern with health and wealth. Everybody has concern about health and wealth, right? For health, Baba said something to who? Riker. He said, I'll repeat, Pav garam, pet naram, dimag tanda, roko maro danda. I'll explain to you very briefly. Pav garam means you got to keep the feet warm. Keep your feet. This is the guidance Baba gave our great Narahari Vasudev Raikar. Pet, next one, keep the feet warm, okay? To be ever active and take long walks. Best example is sitting here. This devotee takes long walks. Those who take a walk along with her, sometimes Shantiji takes a long walk with her, with Kanaka Garu. And therefore, the next one, she does even that. So he says next is pet naram. That's a beautiful Hindi word. Pet naram means keep the stomach soft. You always eat a little less than 2 mouthful less than, right? What your pet, your stomach requires. You got to eat less than, that's what I said, eat 60%. Eat 70% of your requirement. I have told her, they all know me, my family knows. Millions of devotees in India and in this country know that. Don't eat your full stomach to the brim of your stomach and then suffer. Because your human system, the system that digests you and the enzymes in the stomach, it is not made for full stomach. If you eat 50 to 60%, it will be wonderful. That's what Baba used to do. Baba used to give one to Dwarakamayi, one roti to the guest. Right? If Rao Bagadur comes there, he will send one more roti. Sometimes he sends one more roti in advance, telling Radhakrishni, that one of the guests is coming, he is on the way. Truly enough, the guests come, and the roti comes, and then 10 minutes the guest comes. Baba can see the future extremely well. That is why Dr. Javeri, he gave the mantra. He met thousands and thousands and thousands of people, millions of people. We don't have accounts. But then he gives something to somebody. Even today, he gives a job making 325K to one person. When I told the story, it's a real story. When I told the story, everybody, I got emails. Her own husband sent me an email, Mama, when are you going to give me 325K? He was making 169, 189K, assuming, I didn't know. But then he asked me, even though it is a humor is humor, but then he really wanted it. So many people asked me, Mama, where is the phone number? Give me the phone. I would like to talk to her. How she landed a 325 job. I said, that is the only mystery. I won't give any detail. Okay? Any detail, even the city she lived in, I mask. I told some other city. Real city I won't, because if I give the real city, you will know all the devotees in that city. You will call one after the other. You know my representative, you will call and the representative will give out the name. That devotee also is reinventing. Most recent news, she is reinvented herself through that 325K job. And then she found out how much capacity she enjoys today. This is a very revealing story. I am not, in this satsang will not give that story for some other time. But then Javeri thought, Dr. Javeri, Saburi is always happy devotee. And then Dimag Tanda. You got to keep your mind, Tanda raho bhai. Keep yourself cool. American word. Keep yourself cool. Okay? You be cool. That is the keep your, what? Dimag. Dimag is brain or mind. Keep your mind. Roko maro danda. So, okay, what does it mean? Whip the disease away. You give a big danda. Okay? Whip all your diseases. If you follow the first 3, no disease will touch you. No disease, nothing. That is why Baba said, Pavgaram, Pet Naram, Dimag Tanda, Roko Maro, Danda. Hey, that is Delhi Hindi, UP Hindi. Roko Maro by Goli Maro, it says in UP, right? Roko Maro Goli. That would be more street language, right? Because she is from Delhi, she knows UP Hindi. This is what he told Narahari, and Narahari had told Dr. Javeri. What a worldly advice. Do you understand now? What a wonderful advice Baba gave you. You got to follow even today. If you follow that, you won't get any disease. You will eat enough. You will keep your feet warm by walking long walks. So Dr. Javeri made two padukas from the black cloth he gave. And then one was with stone, which was installed in his home. The other was of wood, which he kept alone in a puja room mandap. And all those people who came there did pradosham? No. What is that? All those people, what do you do? Huh? No. What do you do? What is the name? Abhishek, yeah. Abhishekam. Sorry, I have so much of information sometimes, it's exploding together. Abhishek, okay? Abhishekam you can do. People did Abhishekam, and then Dr. Javeri gave the mantra to everybody. 7,000 patients had the mantra. 70,000 people visited. 36 long years. It is no joke. Have you been with Shirdi Baba for 36 years so far? No. For about 10 years, for about 15 years, you know, uncle, right? There are people who know me for 35 years, 40 years. There are people who knew me in India, in the bank, when I was 23 years old. There are people there was one PA to the Chief General Manager in State Bank of India. He just saw my hand and said, I see Shirdi Baba on your hand. Whatever you say will happen. And therefore he dragged me to the Chief General Manager, who had a very big demand on God. Said, when will I become the Deputy Managing Director? The story, I'm not getting into the story. I told what will happen, how many years I'll say. I was demurring, I was hesitating. Sharmaji said, Arey bolo bhai Vishnath, ab kya? Dimag ko thanda rakho. He also told me. My friend Sharmaji was the chief to the general manager, chief secretary. I still remember his face. He said, you say anything, can I say, Sharmaji? You say anything you want, whatever you see, you say. I told the chief general manager, while staying in Chennai, you will be deputy managing director to the particular Binni group. There is one Binni weaving mills, and very famous in Chennai. You will be there, deputy managing director, and then you will go beyond life. You will pass away when you are there. I just said that. It was a government bank, private company, they would have fired me. He had the power. It was State Bank of India. He couldn't say anything. Sharmaji said, thank you, Vishnath. Abhi chalo, baar chalo. And then I wished him again, wish him as a good time, and the deputy managing director. To make a long story short, all those things did happen. So, Baba has already directed all of you. That is why, to keep away all these things, to keep your mind cool and to keep your feet tanda, paid naram, right? Roko, maro, danda, all these things are possible also with this mantra. And this mantra is nothing but Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai. Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai is the mantra. How long did I take to say once? 4 seconds? Maybe 5, if you enjoy and say 5 seconds. This is the mantra that Dr. Javeri started giving. Several people started saying that Janam Janmo Janmai, they forgot. They just said Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai. That's all they said. How many times a day? Shirdi Baba instructed just once. Javeri Saab bataye the 1 a.m. he took the alarm and then kept the alarm, said that very religiously, he said that until he died. This mantra is very unique. Dr. Javeri says several things about the mantra. The auspicious energy and the sacred vibrations that this mantra gives is very unique. It's extremely unique. You know what it does? It increases your consciousness. A man living with this, following his Pedinaram and all that, and then Dimag Tanda, also saying this particular mantra. What is this mantra? Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai. How easy it is to remember. Right now you will remember it forever in your life, right? This mantra says, Javeri says, several 7,000 devotees got their life because he treated them with a new drug. The very new drug he invented, saying this mantra every day, just once. He never said it twice. 1 a.m. he said that. And therefore the divine auspicious energy and the sacred vibrations of the mantra produces gives you energy, This is divine energy. That energy will take care of all your diseases, will go away. This energy will see to it that you are promoted. If you are doing two jobs, both the jobs. One job may be senior vice president, other job as senior manager. One job as senior director, other one kept the same, because Baba knows one job is demanding, other job is not demanding. He will keep a balance, right? He knew everything. Out of the 7,000 stories, I have a few stories, but not for this particular satsang. So many devotees were cured of very unusual diseases, very non-famous diseases. Unusual has got UN. Okay, that is unusual, not the usual diseases, right? And then also wretched fate. Several people get into very sad fate, wretched fate. All those fate never visited with them. Some people are destined to meet with accidents on the road. Those accidents never happened. All those accidents that don't happen, very challenging question. How do you know that there was an accident about to happen and you were saved? I have told people that Roshni in particular, she is listening to this in Portland, Oregon today. She was saved twice from accidents. She knew that once Baba, she forgot to take the Dwarakamayi picture for the car. She went inside and brought. A matter of 3 to 4 minutes, she locked with the alarm and all. 4 minutes. She came, entered the expressway. There was a 14-car accident. 14 cars were piled up. She could not enter. She came home. Do you understand what this is? She would have been in one of those 14 cars had he come without getting into the home again to get the picture. Real life of Roshni ji. She's an IT person. She's living in Portland. She's in touch with me. Because an accident that didn't happen, she could understand. She wrote several emails after that. Mama, लोगों को ये पता नहीं है कि people don't know that what they didn't meet with. If you say, they will believe you, Mama, but normally they don't believe anything like that, right? Tomorrow I say, something is going to happen next year when you are traveling, right? The jet you are flying, American Airlines or some other airline, the door comes off. Baba will know. Baba will know. They come to uncle and uncle will say, hey, take the next flight. Hey, take next Sunday. People who know me will immediately cancel that flight and take the next week until they wait for the TV news. These things are happening. How they happen, how I'm able to see is another satsang, maybe several satsangs. I'm not going to divulge because Baba has asked me how he shows me things. I'm looking at him. I'm not divulging any of the things, but then I can give hint. If you become that, if you want to become me, you have to develop this quality, that quality. You have got to be with Shirdi Baba for 4 janmas at least. I was with him for 4 janmas. And how many people are born on Mahashivaratri night? How many here? Just raise your hand. Not many, not anybody except uncle. My mother used to see Shirdi Baba as a fakir in the Shiva temple of Kollegal, currently in Karnataka state. How many people went to Shiva temple carried by your mother and the fakir came and touched you and then smiled at your mother and gone? Thousands of times this has happened. My mother used to tell me every time what did he say or what he didn't say. Javeri was very, very intrigued by all the things, and then he says, I will keep on saying so many things page after, but then the people after I am gone, they will not be able to believe. Therefore, he says one story of Ganga from Kolhapur. You remember Kolhapur? Right? Kolhapur good. In the India Bazaar, you go there, Kolhapur. It's not Sholapur. Kolhapur good, bikte hain. So that you all buy. The same Kolhapur, it's a big, bustling city today. When I was there in UP, it was a small town. Sholapur was very big. Now Kolhapur is bigger than Sholapur. And there used to live a Ganga. Ganga was the daughter of Balakrishna. Balakrishna was a very great devotee, and then he always did the right things. But then one day she was cooking, Ganga, the daughter of Balakrishna. She was probably about 21, 22 years old. Very lovely, very, very devoted daughter to Balakrishna, the Baba devotee. And she was cooking, and then all meals over, all the family ate, and then she went to bed. The next morning she woke up at 6 a.m. When she woke up, real story, when she woke up, she could not use her limbs. The right leg and the right hand. Everything was flaccid, the top of the right hand, the portion, and then the bottom of the right leg and the top. She could not move. Everything was, what do you call? Everything went in action, the nerve. Everything went numb. Yeah, that's the word. Am I right? In the neurological science, they went numb. You're right. Thank you. So when they go numb, sometimes I forget English language. That's why I refer to people who are better in English language than me. For instance, Nandakishore Maharaj. I call him, hey, what is it? I asked this question, I would have asked my daughter. She's studying neurology. Or I would call Shiva, right? Or if nobody knows, I'll call Nandini ji. Even if Nandini ji doesn't know, I'll call Madhavi ji, because Nandini learned her English from Madhavi. No pun intended. All of them are good in English. Therefore, it went again numb. It went numb, and therefore Balakrishna, the father, dear father, didn't know what to do. But then Balakrishna knew, fortunately, who? Dr. Javeri. Dr. Javeri and the formula, not the formula, mantra. The mantra, it's not a formula, sorry. So he went to Pune. Someone told me, you have to see Dr. Javeri. He was getting very old, and it's already about 25 years. He's preaching Shirdi Baba's theory, and therefore he goes. She was admitted into, as you know, ICU, and then she remained there for a good 1 week, and then discharged with the diagnosis of paralysis. The doctors came and said, this is paralysis, we cannot cure. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Bhaktas, this story happened. All that uncle says is real story. This Dr. Javeri lived. And when this book was written, he was still living. Only recently, I think, he passed away. Very old and very successful Baba devotee, wonderful Baba devotee. I see you. 1 week later, it got, Balakrishna said, let me take her home. I cannot see her suffer anymore. Very dear daughter, only daughter, and therefore it took her home. And then the prognosis went on. He went from one doctor to the next, hoping that his daughter would recover. He saw many doctors, chief of whom were several neurologists, specialists in neurology, Vaids, Hakims, people who are good in, the other sciences, Ayurveda and homeopathy. He went and saw. Even beyond these two, there is one, Siddha medicine in India, very powerful. He went and met in Coimbatore, Chennai, Kanchipuram and other Kumbakonam and other places, Siddha Vaidyargal. They are very good, because right for 1,000, 6,000 years, Siddha Vaidyam was the only medicine known to all parts of India. And therefore he went there. He spent millions of rupees, and without any result was no noticeable improvement. And therefore he was very sorry. I spent $1 million, more than $1 million, and I spent nearly 1 year, nothing has happened. One day, a devotee of Shirdi Baba told Balakrishna, hey, you know about Dr. Javeri, but he didn't know where he was living. Javeri was living in Pune, and then the Paduka story was told by the devotee who came to see Balakrishna, the girl's father. And in the meantime, he appointed a nurse 24 hours, 24/7. And nurse was there looking after the daughter. Nothing had happened even with the nurse. What would happen? Even doctors gave up. And he went to Pune. He met with Dr. Javeri, and then he did the Abhishekam to the Paduka, the stone Padukas. Dr. Javeri will always show the stone Paduka, do the Abhishekam. So he did the Abhishekam, and along with Ganga also did, even though her right hand was motionless. He did the thing, holding father's arm, just placing her hand on dad's arm, and then they did completely the puja. And at that point, Dr. Javeri said, what? Sri Charana, Sri Bhagyasai. He didn't say Janam Janmo Janmai. He just said, this is the real story. Sri Charana, Sri Bhagyasai. I repeat, Sri Charana, Sri Bhagyasai was taught to this devotee. Both of them said that she could speak a little bit. It was not that, her speech was still there, even though a little bit of speech. So with that, she managed to say one day, second day, only once. On the third day, fourth day, she was able to say, remember Rajalakshmi story? Kumbakonam, little child was taken there. Dasgunu was there in the temple. Bolo Sai Baba. And then on the 9th round, she said, you all know the story. That is Mani Iyer, not LRS Mani. His name is different Mani, okay? LRS Mani is the dad of our Sri LRS Mani's son. I don't know his name. His license plate says LRS Mani. So LRS Mani's son. His name is Sri Ram. All right. So she did that within a week. She said once, on the fourth day or third day, she was getting life in her right arm, and the right leg she was able to walk. And she came to a situation, real story, ladies and gentlemen, she came to a situation when this book was written. She was cooking once again, she was talking with once again, she could run a marathon in Pune. She got so well, completely cured. So the fact that she was in ICU became a dream. ये तो सपना हो गया. For who? Balakrishnan. Balakrishna was very, very happy that this mantra, he told another 7,000 people, 70,000 people. Right? Mantra goes very fast, particularly a mantra that can cure you of any condition. Even today, this mantra is very, very useful. You say the mantra, anything that is bothering you, you will be cured. You can spread this mantra among your friends, because it started with Dr. Javeri, right? It started with Dr. Sashikant G. Javeri. And today Baba has allowed you can share this mantra with any number of people on this planet. Maybe with Ameya goes to Jupiter, she can share that there. There is an astronomer in our group, Swapnaji's daughter. She spent 1 week in Mars about 10 days ago. And there was a big news on the prime time, 5:30. The first news 3 days ago, all those who watch prime time would have seen that. NASA found water, stones, small worms in Mars. No wonder Ramaya lived there for 1 week. She is the future astronomer, and she is here in the satsang. I don't know where she is sitting, upstairs. So I congratulated her with the news. Hey, you found water on Mars, that planet. She was as usual shy and said yes. She said yes. This mantra is so efficacious. Once more. Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagya Sai. Remember this. If you forget, call me. I'm only a phone call away. I'll remind you. But this doesn't require any reminder, okay? Mantra that Shirdi Baba gave Narahari to be given to Dr. Javeri. I have shared such a top secret for your welfare. You mentioned this so that you will keep your what? Pet naram and dimag tanda. Re tanda ho jao. If somebody is fighting with you, right? You can tell your wife or husband who is fighting with you, or your mother-in-law fighting with you. Arey ji, zara sa tanda ho jaiye. Pet ko soft rakho. That is in addition to that. So that she will fight with you more. Shirdi Baba. I told you I am going to talk to Dharmendra and Hema Malini who are here. Many of them are wondering, where is Hema Malini? Everybody is turning to see Hema Malini. This Tataya, I don't have any attraction. Hema Malini does. Or they will look at this East Eileen or North Eileen. What is that city? Sisters. Everything has a beautiful humor behind. Everything has got cure behind. That is why uncle takes this much pain very freely. I am passing on such a powerful magic, right? Who is manufacturing those homeopathy medications? I can give you the name. That Amway still doesn't know the secret. Amway is the only one. They've got an Australian unit where Ushaji knows how they manufacture the evil give. Oh no, you know the Australian unit you have spoken about. But then the Australian unit will call me directly, overpassing you. Said, how do they make this particular mantra? What is this mantra? Yeah, it's much better than Amway any day, right? Amway is for people who don't know Shirdi Baba. Now I'm spreading Shirdi Baba's name to millions of people, right? Shirdi people told me in the last visit, Mama, Uncle, we are going to call you. Saiki nahi. Am I not right? The powerful man came to my hotel. Me and Nandini ji of Houston were talking with him. He said, Mama, very soon you should come and do a lecture in the Sansan in Shirdi. I told him, जी आप तो लैंग्वेज बता दो, हिंदी में तो हम बात नहीं कर सकते हैं. This kind of literary Hindi I don't know. I can talk with Hindi people. He said in English. Of course in English. Indians know English. Okay, I agreed. I had to agree. So this neurological wise and hakims, they all followed. They were all in their business, but they all followed. Balakrishna recalls the total, one line for the story, the total cost that he spent exceeded the total thing for coming to Pune and do the Abhishek was only a meager palsy, 1,800 rupees, 1,800 rupees only. Compare it with the several neurologists and others in India. He had spent about 10 lakhs of rupees in those days. More than 10 lakhs, the book in the interview he says. As compared with what? 1,800 rupees for the Abhishek. Would you rather do it with all your 2 jobs and 3 jobs? Would you save money and mention this mantra? That's all I want. This mantra is a very efficient mantra. Sri Charana Sri Bhagya Sai. When these prayers are going on, side by side with your prayer, I have time. I have time, right? Yes, yes. Yeah, whenever you say, I'll cut the satsang because you are the host. But after telling this mantra, you will ask me, give me more mantras, Mama. This one mantra is enough. This mantra will do wonders from tonight. One warning, one caution, you need not wake up at 1 o'clock. Keep your home. You can tell this mantra when you go to bed. Just once, when you lie down, you just say, look at Baba and say this for whatever seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then forget the world and then sleep. No anxiety disorder, no worries, right? No diseases attacking you. You have eaten only 60% of your stomach, so your stomach will be calm. You'll be a cool baby. This is the United States, right? Like a cool baby, like a child, you sleep. Next day morning, you tell your husband or wife, oh, I slept like a log. No, I slept like a baby. Even though it's American ideology. The next story is very, very interesting. I go from one story to the other interesting story of Eknath Kamble. Kamble could be a Marathi, different pronunciation, but I chose to say Kamble. Are you all interested in more stories of prayer? There are millions of stories I know, prayers. Even the last 2 days, people prayed and got what they wanted. That story alone will take 2 hours. Last 2 days, I have stories for 25, 35 years. If I go into your, what is that, archaeology? No. What do you go back? What's the word? Huh? Archive, yeah. Thank you for saying. So if you go into archives, I forget English language. So I have started already learning from Nandakishore Maharaj some English. If he's very busy, I learn it from Sapnaji. She's the head of email unit, so she knows quite a lot of English. So Baba's idol came into your home. The wife's name is Usha Kamble, and the husband's name is Eknath Kamble. Eknath Kamble, like many men are, several women, even of course in my satsangs, men and women equal, but there are some satsangs where only women come. Women like Usha Kamble. Eknath Kamble was an atheist. He didn't want to hear about God. God was anathema. The very name he would run away. He never had any posters, no pictures of God or Sadguru in his home. His own wife was an ardent devotee of who? Shirdi Baba. She didn't know how to bring an idol, how to bring Dwarakamayi picture from uncle, Sai uncle. She didn't know. She was wondering and talking with Rani and other people. Rani said, I'll get one and stealthily give it to you. It will come from Sai uncle. Okay, said that. But then Eknath Kamble, even though he was an atheist, he used to look at his wife sometimes, Sometimes he said, what is this devotion to Shirdi Baba? Why is my wife my wife so devoted. And what is the meaning of this devotion? Who is Shirdi Baba? And there was a neighbor, like all of us have neighbor, Ravindra Joshi. Joshi was a very ardent, classical devotee of Shirdi Baba, like so many of you are classical devotees. We have one Shiva, two Shivas, both are classic devotees. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, they will all be 10.5, 11. It is so classic. These devotees are here today. That's why I could easily compare. And this Joshi was just a neighbor, the neighbor Ravindra Joshi. He just built a small shrine. And the shrine he wanted to, he's an ardent devotee of Shirdi Baba. Therefore, he went and bought a clay idol of Shirdi Baba and then brought it home. Very eagerly, with all the eagerness, he brought it to the shrine. Shrine he has already brought. He kept the idol in the shrine and it was 2 inches tall, 2 inches taller than the shrine. You all have shrine, right? They have a shrine. 2 inches taller. He didn't know what to do. को पता नहीं चला. What is this? It's amazing. Baba doesn't want to stay here. And he asked friends. Friends said, go and immerse in the well, go and immerse in the ocean. He didn't want to do that because it is Shirdi Baba. He is an ardent devotee. He didn't want to lose that idol. He went straight to Ushaji. You said that. Usha Kamble, another great devotee, he said, would you please take this idol for your home? She said, gladly I'll take it. But then inside, deep inside was rumbling this thought. My husband, Eknath, has gone to work. He has gone to office. When he come back, he will burst in anger, severe anger. He will even beat me. He will beat Shirdi Baba's clay model. Also, he will throw it away, torn asunder, everything into pieces. She was worried. But then Joshi was a great friend of Eknath. Who? Kamble. They both are neighbors for several years, 20 years, 30 years, they are friends, and therefore he said, hum to manage kar lenge, kisi tarah se manage kar lenge, we will manage, and therefore she said yes, and this idol, they made a Swami. So in 2 hours the carpenter came. Joshi, the neighbor, made a beautiful shelf and they kept it the exact height and kept the clay idol there. See, very beautifully arranged. But then Usha Kamble was always wondering, how are we going to manage? And therefore the Joshis, husband and wife, the whole family stayed there until that fellow came. Who? Eknath Kamble came, the atheist who didn't believe in Shirdi Baba and any god. He came and he just opened the door and Joshi was there. Joshi just handed over a peda in his hand. He didn't say anything. He saw the statue and he was, brimming with anger. I tell you, his anger was bubbling. He was boiling, suddenly boiling, and he explained. Who? The good friend Joshi explained, this is the circumstances, I said, to which Eknath said, okay, I will not pray to this God, I will not take care, I won't even, when I am going through the shrine, I look to the left, I won't look to the right, so I won't do any puja, let my wife do anything, okay, that I will permit. So they were all very happy and left, thanked. Joshi thanked Eknath and then he left. That night, Eknath could not sleep. Real story that happened in, I'll tell you the year and all that a little later. All right, it's about 1914 or something, okay, 1918. So, what happened was he could not sleep and then he was turning around and completely lost as to why this thing should be there, why should I do that, and all these things. But somehow he slept, he was very, very troubled. A few weeks later, Eknath goes to office. His supervisor said, hey, departmental promotions are in the offing and they are going to come in a few weeks. Departmental exams whereby if you write and pass, in those days in India, there will be departmental tests, right? And if you pass, you will get the promotion in those days, right, Rani? And this fellow wanted very much because his money was not enough and his family was also increasing. Therefore, he wanted to write the exam and he decided, he got the dates also from a supervisor. But he could not concentrate. With all the trials and tribulations that are going on, the fighting with the wife, the difference in understanding, the lack of understanding in the family with Ushaji, all these things, prevented him from concentrating on the tests, which were a few weeks away. So he could not do anything. He was wondering what to do. One day, out of desperation, he began to cry. He came to the Swami's room, puja room, and told Baba, Shirdi Baba, the first time in desperation, people seek Shirdi Baba. This point I want to make. Unless you are desperate, you will never even come. You will see the left when Baba is on the right side, or you will never see the puja room. You will put a big screen. At least about 2-3 devotees have behaved like that. Their story I have. But this story is coming from a very authenticated source, a book. And therefore, he went to Shirdi Baba and said, Baba, what did he say in Hindi, in English? Baba, to progress at work and get a better income for my family, I want to pass this exam. If I do pass, I'll stay alive. But if I do not pass, I'll commit. You know what, right? I'll commit. I'll end my life, commit suicide. And therefore, and also added to that, there is no peace and harmony at home. My wife is always, doing puja and irritating me. Doing puja, less time for me. She doesn't take care of me. He was telling Shirdi Baba. And then he came to know there were only 15 days left for the first exam. And after first time he goes to Baba idol in his home and praying, he goes to bed. He gets a alarm at 1 o'clock. He wakes up at 1 o'clock so that his wife will be sleeping. I can concentrate. He wakes up at 1 o'clock, just like the previous story, 1 o'clock, that mantra, Sri Charana. And he wakes up, but then his eyes are not cooperating. He just, raises himself to sleep. His eyes are very dull and he falls. On the papers, he falls. At the time, there is a door alarm in his home. He is wondering who is pressing my doorbell. It is 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. He goes and sees there is nobody. And then he comes there, he is watching everywhere. He goes there and then he goes and studies from 2 to 2:15. Again, he is about to doze off, and then he dozes off, there is a door alarm. And he doesn't know what's going on here. And then he again goes to the door, opens the door, and he finds there is absolutely nobody. Real story. This has happened. And there is nobody, and therefore he comes back, and then he goes to bed. From the next day, it is happening. 15 days for the exam. Next day he studies. He is always intrigued by the fact that somebody is doing the alarm and running away. Next day he starts reading at 1 o'clock. Everybody, children and the wife, Ushaji, everybody is sleeping. He is reading for about 45 minutes, always aware that the door alarm will happen. Door alarm doesn't happen. And he dozes off. He is sleepy. He falls on the papers and there is door alarm. He is a little bit irritated, but at the same time he is wondering, intrigued, somebody should be there. He goes to the door and opens the door wide and looks at all the neighbors. There are no neighbors, just a darkness, stray dogs, that's it. He closes and then comes and reads. Whenever he dozes off, whenever he feels sleepy and cannot study, underline the word, emphasis, there is a door alarm. He keeps on doing it. On the final day, he even goes one more day for the exam. He is covering the portion. He always goes during the daytime to his neighbors and say, hey, do you come and do this mischief? 2 o'clock, there is a door alarm. Do you do that? The neighbor says, at that ungodly hour, right? Who will come and press your door alarm? I don't even press my door alarm. Ask my wife if I am lying. Everybody is sleeping happily. Left, right, front, all the homes. They are saying, no, we don't do that. Something is wrong. Go to your neurologist, okay? This is one of the advice given. He comes there, studies, door alarm. Next day is the exam, door alarm. But then he doesn't sleep. And then he studies because I got to write the exam tomorrow. He writes the exam next day. All right? When he writes the exam, the result, in those days, no computer, right? Somebody, 24 hours, they correct the paper and then say he passed the exam. At that point, he just flashes, all the past events flashes in front of his mental eye. And he thinks, oh, I went to the clay, Shirdi Baba. He cried and then prayed. I told you, right? He cried and prayed for 30 minutes. Baba, what to do with that? Are you doing a mischief? You are playing with my life. Please, Please pass me, otherwise I will commit suicide. And Ushaji also knew that he will commit suicide. She is also praying that my husband should pass. She is fervently praying when he goes to office. He was working in Port Trust in Mumbai, and she is also praying that my husband should not commit suicide. She is so young, family is there, children are there. Baba listens to earnest prayers. He passes the exam. And then the Viva OC, the oral exam comes. In the oral exam, he passes. What's his name? By the time you're forgetting his name, Eknath Kamble. Eknath passes with flying colors. The oral. A similar story I have told you. A medical student, he thinks that he cannot pass, and then I told you long ago, it's a very famous story in Satcharita. But this is from some other story on Shirdi Baba. And he passes, and then he comes to know, he realizes that it is Shirdi Baba who made him pass. And therefore he is very, very happy. He is a changed person. He is a changed person. Who? This fellow. What's his name? Eknath. Eknath Kamble is a very... The thing he also finds, the doorbell rang every time he felt sleepy. Right? Otherwise, even when you are studying, the doorbell never came. Okay? Next time you keep the alarm at 2, you have to wake up and study for the exam. Be very careful when you are studying, you feel sleepy, your doorbell or your cell phone. Here it is a cell phone. In those days, there was no cell phone. Your cell phone will ring. While ringing, Shirdi Baba's picture also will come. At least you should know it is Shirdi Baba. After the exams, the doorbell stopped ringing. I got to tell you, one big chapter. There are interesting events. I won't go into the detail. Suffice to know that the doorbell stopped ringing after the exams. That made him think it is Shirdi Baba who did that. Shirdi Baba came to his house. This is the circumstances when Shirdi Baba's clay model was given. Baba made the statue 2 inches longer than this thing deliberately. Baba does all these things for you in life. Even today, I have known so many instances in my personal life. I see that every day. I tell my daughter, I tell my dear wife, these are all the things. This Sadguru is a very powerful Sadguru. You better believe. Of course, she is a great believer. She shows enormous bhakti. But there are so many housewives, so many gentlemen who said, Mama is just blah blahing. For me, in those days, I don't know whether it was meant to be Sripada Srivallabha, but when I say this mantra, Sri Charana, I think of Sripada Srivallabha, the God who eats halwa from the hands of Sumati Maharani. That's what this reminds me. And therefore, this fellow became a very great, wonderful devotee of Shirdi Baba. All right? And he wanted to take his family. He took a vow in front of Shirdi Baba. I'll take, you have done miracles, I'll take Ushaji and my children. I'll come to Shirdi with you. You cannot tell Shirdi Baba some promise and not do it. That's important. If you do something, if you say that I'll give 501 rupees to you, Baba, in Shirdi, if somebody is going, you better give 501 rupees or 500 rupees for the Annadan, right? So many poor boys and girls beg for food in Shirdi, if you know. I have seen them. I have taken them to the Sai canteen. And therefore, you give money, and if you promise and you don't give money, Baba's testing will come the same night. You will lose some money. Maybe 10 times 500 rupees, 5,000 rupees. Somebody will demand, somebody will steal your... Something will happen. I have seen that. And therefore, this fellow, due to responsibilities, he gets a new post, he gets a promotion. He is now a new vice president, senior manager or director. So he forgets school. He forgets that he promised to take his family to Shirdi. Even though Ushaji reminds we should go to Shirdi because we did so many this thing. But then this Leela occurred in 1980. I want to tell you the year. It's not 1988 was the year all these events took place. Nandini Kamble is the daughter. Nandini Kamble wrote for the book. During the early 50s, very few people in Mumbai were aware of Baba's divinity and the spiritual ambience in Shirdi. But in our family, my father became a very great, I spoke about the father very briefly. In my family, I was a very great devotee of Shirdi Baba, and therefore there is nothing. Nandini writes, Nandini Kamble, the daughter. My father went to Shirdi when he was about 6 years with his uncle, but then all this testing happened because Baba wanted that. One evening, he could not go. He is about 60, 65 years or 70 years. He could not take his family because of financial problems, a lack of resources, whatever. One can bring 1,000 reasons for not doing a thing. I always advise people to find one reason to do a thing, right? That is my mantra. Do a thing in life. Don't postpone. I tell my daughter, don't postpone anything for tomorrow if you can do it today, 2 minutes before you go to bed. I do that. I walk the home and do several things. They both know that. So don't postpone anything. And then he was postponing, and Nandini also tells my dear father, Dad, you always swore in front of him several questions on finances. We are very poor people, a large family, and therefore the dad told Nandini, that's the only reason I'm not able to go, because the ticket from Mumbai to Shirdi in 1988 was 60 rupees, 60 rupiah, 60 rupees. But then there are a lot of other things he has to find. Puja materials, blah, 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 in Shirdi after reaching. Therefore, he didn't have that kind of a resource with him. 60 rupees is nothing, even in those days for several devotees. Therefore, he was walking one day through to the fortress. He usually comes back late night at about after the sunset. Say 6:37, his work will be over by 6. He'll be walking from the fortress, one bus, and then again walking. While walking, suddenly a Parsi gentleman comes behind and then said, Sir, you dropped a packet. The packet came from your pocket, right side the pocket, and then it's fallen down. And then this fellow doesn't believe. And the second time says, Sir, I saw. So he comes to Kamble and says, I saw the packet came from your pocket. Please take it. At that time, he looks at it and says, No, this is not my packet. To which that Parsi gentleman forcibly takes and shoves it in the right shirt pocket, pant pocket, whatever. And then he comes home and tells Ushaji, this is what happened, and I don't know what this is. In those days, there was no scary bomb tricks and all that. In those days, 1988 in India. Therefore, Ushaji opens, there were beautiful currency notes totaling 60 rupees, 60 rupiah. The cover has the from address Shirdi seal, postal seal Shirdi. To address is not there in the packet. There is no to address. It came to the right person. He was very, very happy. Nandini looks at that and said, Shirdi Baba is so much helping us, and therefore our Kamble, our friend Eknath Kamble, takes Ushaji and Nandini and the other child also to Shirdi, and they come back. At Shirdi, Baba did several miracles. I don't have time to tell even one miracle, outstanding miracle, colossal miracles he did. If Baba takes an interest in you, he will start doing miracles. I have seen so many miracles because Baba took an interest in my life, even from an engineering student, even from high school. For instance, no student from the age of 6th grade became valedictorian until he finished school. I hold that humble record. And when I went to India, I asked my mathematics and science teacher, who was very, very old. They said, nobody has broken, you are the only record holder. And he mentioned my name. After so many years, he was very old. How is that possible? When at 11, how can you write English like a Wall Street Journal? You are 11 years old. You don't even know spelling for English properly. This is all the prasad Baba gives you. That's why I want you to get addicted to Shirdi Baba. You may get addicted to Sripada Srivallabha or Sri Narasimha Saraswati. They are one and the same. Shirdi Baba, Sripada Srivallabha says, I will be in Shirdi. I will be a Shirdi Baba. I will be after 300 years, I will be Narasimha Saraswati, he says in Charitamrtam. These Sadgurus are very powerful. I tell my wife so many times. She understands, but then I insist. These Sadgurus have got powers far beyond your imagination. Human beings, right? Human beings karma, negative with their negative karma that we all do every day. At least you all do every day. Only one doctor asked me from Houston, Mama, how to get rid of all the bad karma every night? One day we accumulated lots of bad karma. She asked me in her home, we stayed last year, 1 year ago, 11 and a half months ago, Mama, I told this a very tough question, but I have an answer. I gave her the answer. She became the happiest woman on the planet. She is doing it. I never even told Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai at that time. I knew that, but I didn't tell her. So, what does it mean? You become a great, come on Anu. You become a great devotee of Shirdi Sai with this powerful mantra after several years I have given you. Even though I knew, it only indicates that the devotees are not mature enough to receive this mantra. Because this mantra is very powerful. I told you 2 sentences about the mantra, right? The divine vibrations and the nirguna bhakti, not saguna, nirguna bhakti that it produces at all the 8 levels of Kundalini. If you are unprepared, it will burn you. Definitely it will happen. Kundalini people do who don't deserve to do, who are advised against doing it, they have burned themselves. Their body parts, the spinal cord and everything will be burnt. It will be crushed, powdered. That's why Kundalini cannot be done by everybody. It is the energy inside. You are releasing heat energy through that power. That's a different book. There are books written on Kundalini alone, 285 pages. You read that, and that is the effect of so many. Sripada Sri Vallabha says so many energy columns, energy dots on the body. I forgot the number, forgive me. So many energy spots, and that is exactly China did that on that medical thing. What do you acupuncture? Acupuncture is based on that energy centers, dots or circles on the body. There are more than 200 or 100. All these things were known to our Maharishis, Siddha Purushas, and these Sadgurus. So that is why this mantra was not given early enough. How powerful, right? Now you came to know, and along with you, so many cities, so many people who are watching. In India, 4 cities, some 2-3 people are watching. They would remember. For their benefit, I say, Janam Janmo Janmai Sri Charana Sri Bhagyasai. Those who have forgotten. Remember or write it down once a day. Along with all these devotees, the man who forced the packet money on him, who do you think it is? Obvious answer, right? Baba does all these things. And since I don't have much time, I don't have any time, I'll postpone another extraordinary story from the childhood of Raja Sahib Bahadur. And I chose 4 different miracles that Baba did in his life. This is for the next satsang. And thank you so much. I hope you will all enjoy a wonderful Christmas. And of course, the Thanksgiving was very good. I am sure you all ate turkey. Some of you ate vegetarian turkey. Walmart turkey, right? Vegetarian. Morning Star turkey is called vegetarian. I'm sure you eat. It is very tasty with the same 18 grams of protein. Okay. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not giving any advice. Please ignore my advices, okay? You may go to Walmart or not go to Walmart or eat the real turkey. I don't know. It's all your choice. But then eat only 60-70% of your stomach, even the turkey. Right, Rani? Okay, let us now do the puja. Before that, I have to tell you, are you all listening? If you are not listening, I won't tell you. If you are listening, I'll tell you. Are you listening? Even those who are distributing plates. Just 1 minute. This is what I told you, the humor about British English and American English. This is very nice. You all should listen. One of the British devotees of Shirdi Baba, he came to United States. He wanted to visit our legendary home. And of course he did come. But then before that, he was in Philadelphia for an office meeting. He went to Walmart and he spoke with the Walmart staff inside. He asked, I see the men's section, where is the ladies section? He just asked, I see the men's section. He meant the dress. He didn't say as much in British English. He asked, I don't see the ladies section. The lady employee didn't understand his British English. I call it tight upper lip English, British. She didn't understand. She told exactly these words. I speak English. I can understand English and Spanish. But sir, what is the language you are speaking? That is as much compliment as I could gather for British English vis-a-vis American English. As if this is not enough, half a minute more, you like it. He went to a restaurant. He was very hungry after exiting the Walmart. He goes to a restaurant. When he entered, he is asking the waitress, what is the main course? Listen, what is the main course? The employee doesn't understand main course. In Britain, They say main course, okay? This American employee didn't understand main course. She replied very politely, "Sir, I don't understand main course." And then she is asking, "Do you mean entree?" Just politely, "Do you mean entree?" And then our British devotee didn't understand entree either, because in England it is always the main course. Those of you who go to England, including this devotee, entree doesn't fly in England. It flies only in France. That's what people think. So our British devotee said, "Oh my God, this is a French restaurant." And therefore he walks out only to find out, let's get back to our friend's home. Okay, he's still in Philly, and then he comes out and he is asking one of the Americans in that big outlet mall, listen to this, "Where is the nearest tube?" I repeat, "Where is the nearest tube?" The employee, a little bit bamboozled by the word tube, "Sir, there is a Home Depot, there is a Walmart next, they sell several tubes. You can go and find one." The devotee was bewildered. Tube in UK means subway in our country. Subway in New York, the train that goes below, right? New York subway, Philly subway. So he was very innocently asking, "Where is the nearest tube?" You can go to the Home Depot. And therefore he was bewildered. He called me, "Mama, I am going flying back to UK because I can't manage." I told him, "Next time you come, you better learn American English. Your UK English ko chod do in England, in your tube." And then he said, "Okay, Mama, I want to see you because I am very discouraged by United States. So, okay, this much for UK English. Let's now do the puja." Did you not like? You go to Britain, she goes to England, and I don't know what kind of. Huh? You speak only American English or Indian English, whatever you choose. Yeah. Let us do the puja, okay? I wanted to share this because the British devotee is watching this satsang. He said, "Mama, you air my jokes." Oh, definitely. Particularly the entree and the tube, all right? British English is very different. And the way you speak. I talk with some people in New Jersey who came from England and settled down in New Jersey, and they still talk in British lingo. I can understand it very well after some time. All right, let's do the puja. Please get ready. I welcome all the new entrants to this powerful puja in West Coast, near the Bay Area, the new devotee and her husband. And in Houston, I invite all the new devotees, including Sumati Ramakrishnan, Srimati Sumati. And in India, Srimati Sumati's brother, Sudhir Ramakrishnan in Mumbai. There are lots of stories about the brother and the sister. But then all these things are for the future satsangs, right? And there are new devotees in Ellicott City, Maryland. There are new devotees in Chennai. There are new devotees in Austin. Hello, Jaini. I'm sure you are enjoying. In Austin, Jaini and Thomas are doing the puja, and they are extraordinary devotees of Shirdi Baba. She goes to Shirdi temple, Shirdi Baba temple, and sings lots of bhajans, and everybody likes. We will start this puja, and this puja is very powerful. This Ashtotara Sada Namavali, it is as powerful as that Sri Charana Sri Bhagya Sai. Are you ready? Om Sri Sai, Sri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai, Sri Lakshmi Naraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai, Sri Krishna Rama Siva Maruti Yati Rupaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai, Sesha Sai Ne Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakta Hridayalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Hridaya Vasine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddha Vasine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddha Bhavishya Pava Varjitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kaladarpadamanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amartyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Martya Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jiva Daryaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvadaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Samartaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Pradiknyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Annavastradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arogyakshemadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arogyakshemadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Riddhi Siddhidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yoga Shemavahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Apad Bandhavaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Marga Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Priti Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Antaryamine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satchidatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Nityanandaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramasugataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Swarupine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jagata Pitre Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktanam Matru Datru Pitamahaya Namaha. Bhakta Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakta Paradinaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Saranagada Vatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakti Sakti Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Vairagyadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samshaya Hridaya Daurbalya Papa Karma Vasana Chayakaraya Namaha. Hridaya Granthi Bedagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Karma Dvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Karma Dvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sutta Sasvasidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Gunadita Gunatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Durdarsha Shobhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Aparajitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Trilekeshu Abhigata Gataye Namaha. Asakya Rahidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Swarupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Swarupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bahiruva Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arubhavyaktaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvantaryamine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Manovagatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulabhadurlabhaya Namaha. Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Anatanatha Dina Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Bharaptute Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Punyachravana Kirtanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Tirthaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satam Gatai Namaha. Satparayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Loganadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Loganadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhavananagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaskara Prabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Brahmacharya Tapasaryadi Suvrataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagavate Namaha. Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satpurushaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satyadattva Bodhagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kamadi Sadvairi Dvamsine Namaha. Abhedanandanubhava Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samasarva Mata Sammataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Atpudananda Sharyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Sri Atpudananda Sharyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prabannarthi Haraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvantar Bahistidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Sarva Bhishta Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samarasa Shanmarga Sthapanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sri Samartha Sadguru Sai Nadaya Namaha. Sadguru Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sri Anantakoti Brahmanda Nayaga Rajadiraja Yogi Raja Parabrahma Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Saina Maharaj Ki Jai. The 1 minute prayer over, we will do the Aarti. After the Aarti, you can have the Prasad.
शिर्डी माझे पंढरपूर साई बाबा रमावर साई रमावर साई बाबा रमावर शुद्ध भक्ती चंद्र भागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा लाहो लाहो अवघे जन करा बाबासी वंदन साईसी वंदन करा बाबासी वंदन गणू म्हणे बाबा साई धाव पाव माझे आई धाव पाव माझे आई.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः. ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
साई नमो नमः, श्री साई नमो नमः, जय जय साई नमो नमः, सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः, श्री साई नमो नमः, जय जय साई नमो नमः, सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः, श्री साई नमो नमः, जय जय साई नमो नमः, सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।